Tvedt.
You're so kind, Chris. Thank you. Hello. Good evening to everyone. So this is me in 2004. I had just landed a brand new job opening a Marriott hotel. I had found the love of my life, and I was surrounded by close friends and family. I was truly, truly thriving. But it wasn't until I met this woman, Elaine Butterfield, when she asked me to speak at the Building Hope conference in Bermuda, that I realized this thriving really was hope. And that sparked my interest all around the topic. And that's when I discovered this gentleman, Dr. Shane Lopez. He's a senior scientist at the Gallup organization. He is the world's leading expert on hope and is considered the hope monger. When I started to do the research on hope. So what is hope? I like to define it as being a captain at the helm of your boat and navigating to where you want to go. Lopez, he describes it as the belief that the future will be better than the present, and the belief that we have the power to make it so. His research also shows us that 89% of the world is hopeful. They're optimistic, and that's really, really good news. There's also a correlation between academics and hope. So students that are hopeful will achieve approximately 1 letter grade more than a non-hopeful student. And for organizations, there's a powerful translation between productivity and hope. So a hopeful salesperson over a 30-day period will sell more in 6 days than a non-hopeful salesperson. But the most impactful data around hope is that it's an equal opportunity resource for all of us. There is absolutely no correlation between hope and IQ and hope and income levels. It truly is available to us all. So how can we take this ancient virtue of hope and activate it and motivate it and work it and use it today for better future outcomes? So again, back to Shane Lopez, he created what he calls the hope cycle. And there's 3 components to the cycle that we're going to talk about now. Future casting. The second one is discovering your future self. And the third, designing and editing your future. So when we look at future casting, we have to go back to the brain and science. There's been a lot of research done around the brain. But there's been little research done around the brain of when it's actually in a still state, when we're thinking of nothing. And what they found when they did that, when we're thinking of nothing, we are actually creating hope and memories of the future. We're daydreaming. And this daydreaming, this future casting, can really help lead us to kind of our next position, which is discovering images of our future self. We can use future casting and daydreaming to do that. But what might be more impactful is actually to see what we're going to look like in the future. And I courageously did that, and we'll share that now. So this is me today, and in the middle is me when I'm 65, and at the end is when I'm 90. So don't look too bad for 90. So how might seeing those images of myself in the future might change my actions and the things that I'm doing today? Which brings me to the last component of the hope cycle, all around designing and editing our future. So we had Marzita Bodden, she's over here on the left, she spoke earlier tonight. She shared with me 2 to 3 times a year, she takes 36 hours of a silent retreat. And what she does is she muses, there's no rules, she takes time to design and edit her future. And those are the people that I want to hang out with. Because our last statistic is hope spreads to the 3rd degree. So how hopeful your friend is will impact how hopeful you are. And this is Renee, and she's my most hopeful friend that I know. So take a minute and reflect on who is your most hopeful friend, and challenge yourself to spend as much time as you can with that person. So my last point is asking you, what are you going to do to lay the foundations to start building your hope? Are you going to give yourself permission to do the daydreaming, to do the future casting? Are you going to be brave enough, maybe with aging software, to see what you're going to look like in 20 years' time and make some changes? And finally, to start designing and editing that future. So I encourage you to take the plunge, and that's what I did. Thank you very much.